Rise and grind, scammers, for one of our greats has fallen again. By the way, I just woke up, so forgive me if I sound tired. But it's because I've been losing sleep over the fact that a YouTube beloved, an internet icon, for better or for worse, another notorious online person has bitten the dust, which you would think he shouldn't have been able to. I'm talking about a man who possessed all kinds of knowledge. His chariot was none other than a black Lamborghini parked in the Hollywood Hills. You know who I'm referring to. Sir Tai Lopez. Remember when Tai Lopez was just selling an online course? And he's just trying to scam people into, being smarter or something? And here he is now, facing criminal charges for running an alleged Ponzi scheme. Who would have thought? Let's get into it. Now, I don't have any snake oil to sell. I just have a stand-up comedy set, which you can come see. Thank you, everyone that came out to the San Diego and Austin shows. Those shows were awesome. At the time you're seeing this, I just left Philadelphia. I'm on my way to New York, and I'll be doing Boston and D.C. as well. So, yeah, come see me if you live on the East Coast. I don't know when I'll be back there. Buy a ticket at noelmillerlive.com. Now, let's get into the man of the hour, him and his boys. First of all, Tai Lopez is not just named in some random article. He is on sec.gov. And I would look at this as maybe getting like a verified badge if you're a scammer, right? Because you might be scamming stupid shit online. I don't know. Beats, leaking people's music. But if you make it to sec.gov and your name is in that headline, what is this, like winning a Grammy if you're a scammer? I mean, this has got to be a badge of honor, or at least, the road to it. I never realized that Ty's full name was Tai No. It's like God was telling him all along, Tai No. Don't do it, Tai. Tai No. Tino Adrian Lopez, Alexander Farang Mayer, and Maya Rose Birkenrode. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission litigation release. I'm just reading you this text because that's all YouTube videos are, right? It's just me reading text and you do the dishes. Me reading text and you do something else in your life, right? On September 25th, 2025, the Securities and Exchange Commission charged Tino Lopez and Alexander Mayer, co-founders of Retail E-Commerce Ventures, LLC, REV, and its chief operating officer, Maya Birkenrode, collectively, the defendants, with conducting a series of fraudulent securities offerings, misusing investor funds, and making Ponzi-like payments to investors. Now, you may remember Tai Lopez was doing the capitalist equivalent of necromancy. He was taking gutted retail chains and trying to bring them back from the dead. He shoved both his hands up the spines of two coveted brands of the late 90s and the early 2000s, Pier 1 Imports and RadioShack. Now, if you didn't grow up pre-housing crisis, early 2000s, late 90s, I think it's important to give you a little bit of the tone and atmosphere of these stores. Pier 1 Imports is a place your mother took you on a Sunday, and your father might have taken you to RadioShack to buy a landline phone. And both of these places induce existential dread. I had self-deletion ideation as early as 8 years old because of these stores. They were wildly depressing in a way that I don't think I could ever perfectly describe. I just know that at 8, 9, 10 years old, as soon as I walked into a Pier 1 Imports, I felt this heavy, and it was almost maybe my body realizing, yes, sir, this is life. Going to look at couches and diodes for RC cars. This is it. This is existence. Anyways, let me get back to the article. A pair of e-commerce entrepreneurs who bought a number of well-known retail brands, including RadioShack, Model Sporting Goods, and Pier 1 Imports, out of bankruptcy, are accused of running a Ponzi scheme. Through their holding company, Mayer and Lopez acquired distressed brick-and-mortar companies in order to turn them into successful online-only brands. Dress Barn and Linens and Things were also among their acquisitions. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? This is like when fighters burn out of the UFC and then they put them in bare-knuckle boxing. I don't know who's nostalgic enough to shop at linensandthings.com. That's another store, man. Even when I was a kid going into that store, that shit looked like it was going out of business. So I don't know if anyone has positive memories of that place. Rev acquired RadioShack in 2020, 3 years after the nearly century-old electronics chain filed for its second bankruptcy. Dude, double bankruptcy? Who are these, my parents? JK. Radio Shack first filed for Chapter 11 protection in 2015. I remember that. I remember that distinctly because I was working at its overlord, the one that ousted it, the beast that continues to exist today, which is Best Buy. And for all my trash talking about Best Buy throughout my career, Best Buy were the formative years of my life. They did inform me about how crazy people are over a laptop that is $300. I've seen people with far too low blood sugar and negative bone density get into fistfights over a $300 Acer laptop. Mind you, this was like a single core processor. They would fight for these laptops, man, and they would get them, and they would be right back in the store 2 weeks later because it was typically old guys buying them to watch porn, and they get a ton of viruses and be showing up and paying double the price to the Geek Squad to undo the virus on that coveted $300 Acer laptop. Now, I wasn't, super proud to work at Best Buy, but for some reason, when I saw Radio Shack go out of business, I felt the need to drive by the last Radio Shack in our town and just throw up a middle finger in my blue collar. I had to hop out in my blue collar and khakis and just wave the birds. How's it feel, pussy? Broke. You're broke now. Fuck you. That's what I did. Sometimes we go to 7-Eleven and drink a couple Four Locos, come back to the Radio Shack as they were, doing the liquidation sale, and we just add to that by doing a little liquidation ourselves. We take a piss right there on the front door. Suck a dick. In 2023, Unicomer Group. Ooh, new name for the group chat. Fellas. That's your chopped uncle with the little joke right there. Unicomer Group acquired Radio Shack and in 2024 relaunched it as an e-commerce platform. Radio Shack's current owners are not named in the lawsuit. So that's crazy. Tai purchased Radio Shack and then he gave it away. Now, the fact that this company bought Radio Shack in 2023 maybe is a bit of foreshadowing here as to what the hell Tai Lopez was doing that he could be nailed with a Ponzi scheme. Hello, everyone. We want to take a break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Shopify. Kind of like this podcast, you might have an idea for something you want to start and eventually want to make money from, whether that be a business, clothing line, what have you. It's also easy to get held up when you want to start, a new business endeavor. You might think you don't have the skills. What if you can't do it alone? But Shopify is a great way to turn what ifs into why nots. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands that are just getting started. Now, you might be thinking, what if I can't make a website? Design one. Well, Shopify's got you from the get-go with beautiful, ready-to-go templates that match your brand style. You might be thinking, what if I need a hand? Well, Shopify can help you with everyday tasks like enhancing product images, writing product descriptions, or generating discount codes with Shopify's AI tools created for commerce. What if people haven't heard about my brand, you might think as well? Well, Shopify helps you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And of course, there's always the inevitable thought, what if you get stuck? Shopify is there to help you with their award-winning 24/7 customer support. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up with your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/companylot. Go to shopify.com/companylot. Shopify.com/companylot. The SEC's suit, say that 3 times fast, alleges that between 2020 and 2022, Marin Lopez, quote, made material representations to hundreds of investors about the bankrupt retailers they had acquired. For example, to entice individuals to invest in their acquisitions, they said their portfolio companies were on fire and cash flow is strong. There's a nice little irony there about saying your portfolio companies are on fire. Boy, were they telling the truth. Watch that be Tai Lopez's defense in court. Your Honor, I was not being hyperbolic or figurative when I said on fire. I am on the spectrum, and when I said on fire, I was being true to my words. Our portfolio was on fire. We bought a series of bankrupt companies, and I tried to reiterate over and over to our investors, hey, This entire operation is on fire. It's a meme. And they yucked it up and they laughed and they took me figuratively. So is it my fault that they gave me $100 million? The immediate quote after is what probably got them in trouble. Cash flow is strong. But, again, cash flow out. The companies are on fire and the cash is flowing strongly out. We need money. We weren't lying. They also told prospective backers that money raised for a company would only be invested in that specific firm. Contrary to these representations, while some of the Rev retailer brands generated revenue, none generated any profits, the suit states. Consequently, in order to pay interest, dividends, and maturing note payments, defendants resorted to using a combination of loans from outside lenders, merchant cash advances, money raised from new and existing investors, and transfers from other portfolio companies to cover obligations. Neither Mayer nor Lopez immediately responded to CBS News' request for comment. If you read any financial news, allow me to take a tangent here. There's been a lot of chatter, a lot of talk about private equity gutting the remaining retail brands that we have, taking lovely places like Joann's, if you're an arts and crafts person, and just running it into the ground. It's like Tai Lopez kind of did that, but he did it at the end after all the juice was squeezed. And he's like, I don't know, he's like last to the party or something like that. Also, just very funny to me to take bankrupting brands and then you just continue being bankrupt for them. The SEC alleges that at least $5.9 million of returns paid to investors were actually Ponzi-like payments funded by other investors, as opposed to companies' profits. Now, guys, I'm not here to wash the reputation of a scammer. I have been in one of the houses that he claimed to own. All right, I have stood next to this guy. He's very nice in person. I can see why he gets hundreds of millions of dollars out of people. He's very good at that. Tai is the closest I think that I personally have ever gotten to a robber baron. I've read snippets and pieces about the Gilded Age, what it was like to be a cowboy, Reach for the skies, give me your wife and your money. Give me 30 pieces of gold or I'm going to tie your kids up and put them on a set of train tracks. Man, that must have been cool back in the Gilded Age. That's like, what a threat. What a long, drawn out, just, I don't know, threat. He's got your wife and kids on, on the rear of his horse saddle, and you're seeing him ride a good half mile. You can see the train tracks. You're just standing out there and nothing with your wagon going, no, please, I'll give you the gold and cured meat. And he's like, too late, partner. You're going to see me put him on the train tracks. And then he lays him on the train tracks. And then you're just waiting. Tai Lopez is a robber baron. He is the closest thing I will get to meeting an actual Red Dead character. I don't know any historical cowboys. I just view everything through digital media now. All my knowledge of history is completely wiped. Additionally, the federal regulatory agency claims that Mayer and Lopez allocated $16 million worth of investments for their own use, according to the filing. I mean, hey, you boys got to eat, right? I got to run the bankrupt company. I mean, hey, you invested in me to do this tall order of restoring this thing from the dead. I got to eat. And you know my taste. You know what I like? You know I like to live in the Hollywood Hills. You know I need a Lamborghini. They took all that stuff away before, but I need to get it back. And most importantly, you know what I need this $16 million? I'm Tai Lopez, by the way. I need this $16 million to purchase all my books. I got a lot of fucking books.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be soft on Tai Lopez running a Ponzi scheme. Okay, again, I'm not defending the guy, but I do have to say, because I didn't say this the first time, and I feel the need to say it now. If you invested in this, you're a moron. You don't deserve your money. Here's why, okay? When I said capitalist necromancy, that was a lot of words to say he got people to pay for a dead thing. Take RadioShack out of it. Could you imagine a guy being like, yo, bro, look at this horse. I know it was freshly hit by a bus, but do you remember watching it as a kid when it used to win and run? If you give me 10 grand right now, I'll make people pay for an imaginary version of it. Wouldn't that be cool? This business model does not work, all right? We've seen Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. That did not work. Coming back to reality, the premise of his business model is so dumb. It should not convince anyone to invest in it, right? He's saying, I'm going to take a dead brand, Radio Shack and turn it into an online store. Maybe the idea here is I'll get people to shop on it based on nostalgia. Websites are not particularly nostalgic past, I don't know, Club Penguin, Newgrounds, stuff like that. But you're not going to get an online nostalgia by going to RadioShack.com. When you're just buying general, I don't know, electronics or groceries, the website is irrelevant. If a website called IPutDogsInABlender.com sold my normal groceries for 50% off, I would be a Prime service member on IPutDogsInABlender.com if I know all my groceries are 50% less than what they were previously. So unless he was doing that, this whole business model is, to me, is very stupid, or it was very stupid. This business model should not have convinced anyone to invest in what he was doing, but it did. Because the tried and true thing about a Ponzi scheme is it works. That's the fucked up part. That guy, he made that, and I guess maybe in society he should have been arrested. And it's like, hey, that was a fucked up thing you did, and everyone should know that you can't fall for this kind of thing. And it keeps happening. I mean, there are tons of recent examples. One I was just reading about because after Tai Lopez, I was like, well, what's a recent Ponzi scheme that worked well? There was a Ponzi scheme that ran from 2018 to 2024. And it was two guys, and they were selling people on investing in vending machines for $8,500. Part of their business model was targeting veterans. How fucked up is that? Hey man, I know the federal government didn't really pay you for what you did, but if you give me $9,000 and invest in a vending machine, I'm gonna take care of you. And those guys, that's not fair to them. They grew up on when shit was a quarter. Saying, we put a quarter in a gumball machine. Those guys put a quarter in the fucking gas pump, and that filled the whole tank. So when you say, hey man, I'm gonna make you rich off a vending machine, they're like, you're selling products for $5 whole? I'm gonna be loaded.
Hold up, I'm sorry. The idea of getting a subsidized personal loan to buy a vending machine.
And we're not laughing at old people in a tough situation. We are laughing at the predatory nature of the society we live in. Now, you heard that big ass voice behind the camera, feeling all confident. That brings me to my next segment. Now, when you think of Ponzi scheme and who falls for a Ponzi scheme, you're thinking maybe vulnerable people, unassuming people. But if you pivot to, I don't know, a crypto scheme, like Gary Vee trying to sell you drawings done by a 5-year-old, or Logan Paul trying to sell you a digital dinosaur, you would think, well, that's clearly someone who is maybe older. Maybe they're like a grown maverick, something like that. Like, you're like, who is investing in that? I'm kind of cutting myself off because, ladies and gentlemen, I have happenstanced on a unicorn in our modern society. What I feel is a unicorn. By the luck of the universe, I would have it that my opener, a recent opener for me in Chicago, and a guy who opens for me pretty regularly on the road. And by open for me, that's not a sexual thing. I do stand-up comedy, and this guy is the first person to go on stage, all right? Let's just get that out the way, all right? A gentleman by the name of AJ Leidig. You might know him as someone who's toured with me, or you may come to know him right now as a guy who fell for crypto schemes in his early 20s. I'm not doing this video with him to humiliate him. I'm doing this video to show you that you're doing okay. Not only do I love performing in new cities, but I also love checking out other comics when I travel. And lately, I've been looking to find the best deals on tickets when I travel. Which is why I want to give the sponsor of today's episode, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, stand-up, and more. Right now, you can get tickets to Coldplay, Ariana Grande, and of course, me, Noel Miller, and more. SeatGeek is easy to use. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad, and every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. So use my code Noel10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off tickets with promo code Noel10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thanks, SeatGeek. record
Oh,
here.
bro, you made me do the slope floor for this.
What? Yeah, of course.
You made me
Of
go
course.
short as hell.
Of course.
Come
You're
on,
taller
man.
than me in regular life. I can't have that on
This
my
ain't fair,
channel.
dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I said a minute ago when I was out of focus, now we're focused. And again, that's not my fault. That's AJ's fault.
That's completely on me.
I love AJ to death. He's very funny. You can always come see us on the road. We're doing a lot of shows this year. He'll be at my shows this year. But you unironically purchased the Gary V 5-year-old drawing.
Yeah. My name is AJ Leidig, and Logan Paul sold me a digital dinosaur.
Which is I've always and I don't want to be disparaging to you, but I will be because we know each other.
That's okay. We're friends. Yeah.
I have always been fascinated because you're who you are. I never could come this close in contact with someone who has done this.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old were you, bro?
I was 19. And I'll say this for the record. I did not like 19-year-old me. They would not have liked 19-year-old me. You certainly would not have liked 19-year-old me.
Oh, so you were looking for it. You saw it as an opportunity.
Yeah, dude.
What was your...
I was trying to make it.
Could have just got a job or did some other shit. But he was
or stayed in college.
Yeah, the Logan Paul dinosaur will take me to...
Also, here's what's in... Because you said that on camera. You go, Logan Paul was selling digital dinosaurs. He only ever sold me the egg.
Oh, that's right. You never even got the dinosaur.
It never even hatched.
Wow.
Isn't that sad? I don't even know the breed of dinosaur that I lost tens of thousands of dollars to.
How much do you think you paid for that dinosaur?
I think like $7,500. Like an embarrassing amount.
Hold on. Let me just zoom. Just go ahead and lean in.
Come on, man.
Let's get the harsh close up. I just want you to look to camera like a hostage and go, I'm AJ Leidig.
I'm AJ Leidig, and Logan Paul sold me a digital dinosaur for $7,500.
That has got to feel so rewarding for Logan Paul.
He probably fucked his wife to that video.
Damn. Pervert?
Bro, I'm just saying. Wouldn't
just
you?
joking. Scooty and Shorty.
He scammed children out of $7,500.
Yeah, he really got you.
That had to have felt really good.
So you genuinely thought it was a money-making opportunity for you.
Yeah.
When you paid the $7,500, what did you pay that with?
Ethereum.
Okay. And how much of Ethereum did you have at the time?
That was probably all of it.
So you went all in on the Logan Paul dinosaur.
Here's the Logan Paul thing, not to get crypto nerd for a second. The promise of it was we can bridge Ethereum to Binance. Bro, I hate this. We can bridge Ethereum to Binance, which had never been done before. Like, it would be like a revolutionary technology.
Got it.
And the secret to it was that they didn't have it.
I see.
That they didn't have any of it.
Can you put that in like regular people terms?
So like, imagine if you could never exchange dollars for euros. Like, that technology never existed.
Right.
And then someone came out of nowhere and said, if you buy a dinosaur egg in dollars online, we can convert that into a real dinosaur in euros.
It seems like people...
Wouldn't you be like, that's pretty cool?
It seems like people who want to fuck up your finances use eggs as a vehicle. That's a Trump joke.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess in that sense, it makes sense, but I'm still...
It's okay. You can have disdain.
I'm still judging you because you really thought people were going to go, oh, man, we can't pay for stuff online, but you can do it with the Logan Paul egg.
You can do it with the Logan Paul egg.
You could buy this with a Logan Paul Charizard.
Some are calling it the new dollar.
Some are calling the Logan Paul Charizard the new dollar.
It's the new dollar.
So you got.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, also, here's what I will say.
Yes, please defend yourself.
Okay, let me defend a little bit here. In that, my thinking was not necessarily that Logan Paul was going to create the new dollar.
Sure.
It was that people that follow Logan Paul think he's going to create the new dollar.
Right.
So maybe I can get some of their money.
Okay, so
Equally scummy, little less stupid.
Now my judgment is easing off, and it's now it's increasing. No,
it's getting worse in a different way.
So you were thinking, all right. Basically, you were trying to take advantage, and so there's a bunch of guys like you going, well, we don't like Logan Paul,
but I know I'm in these Discord servers. I know they do.
Did you forcibly have to pay attention to Logan Paul stuff then?
No.
Okay.
No.
You were just tracking the number.
No, he didn't really pay attention to our stuff either.
Got
It
it.
was pretty mutual in terms of,
And you were in the Discord servers that
for sure.
all the egg people were in.
Yeah, the egg Discord was, I mean,
Logan Paul egg Discord.
the Logan Paul egg Discord. First of all, it was Telegram, which is how you know it's like a legit business.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it was right through Telegram.
Did you have to pay to be in there?
No.
Okay. So
No.
free.
You had to have proof that you owned an egg.
Interesting.
You had to have an egg to get into the Telegram.
Were you there when the whole thing got nuked and CoffeeZilla goes, "Hey, you're
For
a
sure.
scammer"? What was that like?
Dude, the group chat. Well, first of all, they do what they always do, which is like I've been in like I've been in a bunch of crypto stuff that's worked, but any ones that don't and the scamming starts to happen, you know it's bad when the mods just say fuck it and mute the chat. When they just go, no one's allowed to talk anymore, that's when you know it's really, really bad. And I remember like someone set that video in there and then they were just like, no more.
There was a
No more
digital uprising with you guys saying, "Give us the money for the eggs."
Yeah. I mean, that happened way before that, before even CoffeeZilla was focusing on it. Because really everybody was like, hey, where is this bridge you guys were talking about? This doesn't exist. This is like impossible technology. And then I remember one kid started just like change his username to Logan Paul and just started being like, I'm Logan Paul. Everything's going to be okay.
Wow.
And then another kid was like, no, I'm the real Logan Paul. And then it was probably like 30 of the 1,000 people in the chat were like, I am Logan Paul.
Trying to sway.
Yeah.
Interesting, because maybe they're trying to get out.
Trying to get people to stay so they can leave.
Would you
It
say
felt like
then-
that moment of Rudy where everybody lays their jerseys on the desk. It's like, no, I am Logan Paul.
Would you say then the appeal for all of you was it just it was just getting one over on others, and with that in mind,
Yeah, it was really more about the journey.
but I guess
So
in
it
that
sucked.
in that sense, it's easier to buy into. Well, you know, it's basically investing in Funko Pops or something.
For sure.
I'm not into this, but someone else.
But
will
someone's
like
going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like, well,
Which
because
we're restating your point, but I understand it better now where it's a gang of you. But at any point, were you looking at everyone feeling maybe that there were no true, genuine fans in that chat?
for sure.
Hmm.
Because I was in on the Gary Vee one, and that one worked because that is a cult. So there are people that genuinely believe it.
Let's talk about that. How much did you pay for the Gary V 3-year-old drawing?
Well, first of all, he drew it.
That's right.
So
So he
I bought a wasp that he drew.
Wow.
A wise wasp.
leave it to a white guy to buy a wasp.
Okay. All right. I paid probably 15 grand.
15 grand.
But here's the thing. I sold it for 65.
which is insane.
Yeah. So it kind of worked.
Let's talk about that then.
Okay. That's what the video should become. Ponzi schemes, they can work.
No.
They can though.
Because let's land on the before we move forward, before we
Okay.
start painting an image. How much crypto do you have now?
0.
And just let that zero
Okay.
hit.
We'll let that hit. And Noel pays for me to open for, and I'm very grateful for any and all money. Let's make that very clear.
And like I said, I didn't bring him on to humiliate him. I just brought him on to let you all know that sometimes crypto doesn't work out.
Yes.
But that is fascinating. So you paid 15 grand up front, and you had that cash because you had been kind of.
I've been doing well.
You had been doing well in crypto.
In crypto and also stocks. I was day trading at the time.
Got it.
Things were good.
AJ's a reformed finance guy.
So funny to be like, yeah, I was doing all right, and we're in this right now.
Yeah. Well, we're doing better now than AJ was done. Because now he's honest. He's in a basement and he's honest.
Yes.
You pay 15 G's for this.
Mm-hmm.
Is the run up to 65 grand fast?
No, it drops initially. It always drops initially because it's
Okay.
like retail buyers get excited, and then it falls off a cliff for a minute, and then it like slowly rebuilds.
What was do you remember the difference after the 15 you had
I
paid?
think it probably dropped by half.
Oh my God.
But again, I was 19. I didn't know any of this was like real money.
It felt,
It didn't. It felt like a video game.
I was going to say.
It didn't feel real. So I was like,
Are
I
you
lost
kind, are you
$75.
kind of
Who cares?
emotionless when this is happening?
For sure.
Wow.
I was emotionless until I pulled out 20 grand, bought a car. And then I was like, whoa, this could like change a lot. And then it did.
And it did.
It did.
So it's really good to, by the way, do a podcast segment before you start a show. It keeps the energy up.
Yeah. They're announcing the drink specials right now, and we're talking about how I lost all my money.
Hello, everyone. We got to take a quick break. Thanks, sponsor for today's episode, DraftKings. DraftKings Casino has your playbook for gaming action all season long. Play thousands of popular slots for a shot at jackpots. Over $400 million has already been awarded. It's as easy as opening your phone, tapping the app, and playing all your favorite games. Boredom is a thing of the past because there's always something new to play. Get in on the action with DraftKings jackpots for a shot to win big. Plus, enjoy games you can't find anywhere else like Rocket. Take America's #1 online casino for a spin in addition to all your favorite casino games. DraftKings is constantly dealing out new and exciting ways to play. New players get 500 spins on Huff and More Puff over 10 days. Download the app, use code COMPANY, and claim your spins after your first $5 wager. Get in the game with DraftKings Casino, home of the largest jackpot win in online casino history. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins issued as 50 spins per day for 10 days. Valid for featured game only and expire each day after 24 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends October 5th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. It runs up to 65 grand. How long do you sit at that level?
So I think it went up to like 85 for like a month, and then it started slowly dropping. Once it got to 65, I was like, that's enough.
It's time to go.
That's enough for me to go. Yeah.
I find this interesting because to me, it is a Ponzi scheme in that buy this, it'll make you more later.
Yeah.
But I think the interesting part is other Ponzi schemes, I guess the product is either more tangible or maybe it's not. But I just think it's this perpetual example, if I could get big brain, in an economy that runs on currency where this type of thing can always present itself regardless of who you are.
Right.
Because as much as I'm fucking around, I do think it's a fairly modern story that you're a 19-year-old. Crypto, you're already kind of disconnected from as you're using it anyway. When you're making this money, it's hard to even, I guess, relate to it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's relevant to me as well because when people get into Ponzi schemes, this is probably how it happens. You're just asking for a nominal amount of money that is relative to where you're at. And they could just hit a person when they're kind of at a fuck it stage in their life, or they're doing well and they go fuck it. It's this really smarmy thing where everyone is just hoodwinking each other.
Dude, and that's what it like. So to kind of bring that into like a real life setting, I went to the Gary V token, the conference. Dude, I mean, these people, when you see, like, the thing in Get Out where it's like the dude is just smiling, but you can see like a singular tear. That was everyone at the conference, where it was just like a husband with his wife being like, we're investing in AI, we're going to make it. And then his wife would be crying, like, our kids are hungry.
Were you
like,
actually,
oh my God.
Were you running into these scenarios where it was really emotional?
It was like, well, I told you about when I met him, right?
Yes, you met him. I was going to get to that in a minute.
I met Gary V, and it was an unemployed woman in front of me who cried in his arms and was like, you changed my entire life.
Wow.
And then I was up next and was like, what's up, man? And I don't think he likes me. I mean,
it doesn't matter if he likes you. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter if Gary V likes you.
Also, the small point here, when we're talking about like there being nothing tangible behind it, it's not even that there's nothing tangible behind it. There's nothing tangible in front of it either. It's like the Gary V thing, literally he was like, hey, we're going to make these V characters, like we're going to make them into like Disney thing. And we were like, oh, cool. He'll make like a cartoon or something. All he did was make like stuffed animals. And then he was like, hey guys, you get like a big discount on these. And it's like, well, it's not even, it'd be like if they made like, if you were in like a chainmail thing.
Right.
But the only benefit of even coming up on top for the chainmail was you got a discount on all future chainmails.
Right.
It's like no one made money. This isn't even.
So in that way, it was a Ponzi.
For sure.
Ponzi, pyramid, however you describe it. It all starts with P.
True.
P and Ponzi and whatever.
That's what pushing P is, dude.
Pushing P. Pushing Ponzi. Pushing Ponzi. And yeah, you and I have talked about this before, but at that conference, it was a lot of families that were kind of all in.
Yeah.
Now, here's the
I
crazy.
thought it was going to be all other 19-year-olds. It was 45-year-old couples where clearly one of them was trying to get a divorce.
And when I was setting up earlier, I think a lot of people thought that's who I was going to bring into the camera.
Yeah.
Because they live in this now because they lost all their money.
For sure thought I was going to be like a middle-aged man.
On Gary V coin.
Yes.
And it's a young 25-year-old who goes, I fucked up when I was 19.
Yes. I had one.
Yes.
This is my favorite like crypto Ponzi scheme thing. Did you ever hear about World of Women?
No.
It was like the first women-led coin, where it was like an NFT, and it was just different like cartoon women heads, not like in a sexual way, but just like different attributes and everything. And everyone was like, this is so women empowering, this is so cool. And the project kind of failed because they held the first real live event, and it was just incels.
So you're saying it was all dudes that pulled up?
It was all dudes that bought the tokens.
Got it.
So it was supposed to be this women's empowerment thing. It ended up just being a bunch of men buying pictures of women.
Which is a viable business model. AJ, thank you for sharing your story.
Hey, bro. Thanks
Wickedly fascinating.
Appreciate you.
You can see AJ on the road with me, and if you do, feel free to chastise him. But let's get back to Ponzi schemes.
Folks, if there's a greater story out of this, it's that while our society is a game and capitalism is a weird, ranked ladder that we're all on, you don't have to strive for $112 million. What I'm saying is you can do it. Whatever it is you want to do in this life, you can do it. Because Tai Lopez has millions of views, tons of free digital advertising that say, I steal your money. And people still give him money. You have to laugh. I mean, it's fucking impressive, dude. Even at a time like this in Tai Lopez's life, where he's on the hook for, a bajillion dollars. He's made the Scammer Hall of Fame, SEC.gov. You know what this guy has to say? Never doom. You got Tai Lopez at beneath rock bottom. We're talking a concrete block attached to someone's feet who wronged the mob, rock bottom. Okay? That guy is looking at you saying, never doom. His full quote is incredible. Never doom. No matter how horrible the situation, don't ever think you're doomed. Unless you are dead, all defeat is psychological. Never doom is one of my favorite online movements. Here's the thing about Tai Lopez, dude. Even if he goes to a white-collar prison and he does 5 or 10 years in some, luxury jail, he's going to be sitting in there networking. It's just going to be with hands folded like Billy McFarland, a Firefest guy. These guys can't be stopped. The most dangerous thing you could do is put Tai Lopez in a cell and not have him worry about paying rent or money and just giving him time to think. He's going to come up with something fucking diabolical. The longer you put him in there, the stronger he grows. It's a hyperbolic chamber for scammers, is jail. That shit is, Goku training against 5 times gravity. SEC, federal government, if you're, I know you're listening to me right now. You're listening to me all the time. Palantir, I love you. My advice to you would be do not put Tai Lopez in jail. This is just a fair warning to the federal government. If you put Tai Lopez in jail, do not be surprised if he becomes president. You might be thinking you're a good thing, but if he's going to cook up a plan in there, and you're going to walk into work one day and Tai's going to turn around and say, can you believe it? From behind bars to living large. You think I should do the here in my garage thing at the White House? Here in my Oval Office. Never doom, guys. Never doom.